Welcome to this episode of the GymInformer podcast. I'm Chris Gilbert, your host for this episode. And today our host is Mike Denicola, the owner of Stable Goat Barbell just outside of Philadelphia. This is a really cool, small little powerlifting gym that I got to go to just a couple weeks ago. Mike was in there hitting it hard, so that was super cool. I'm excited to talk to him about his gym. Before we get started, let me take a pause and I'll show you the photos that I took when I was at the gym. All right, Mike, you recently became the proprietor, the owner of this gym, but what was your path to becoming a gym owner, if you don't mind telling us?
Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, the path really was, it all began with my own physical transformation back in 2015 or 2014. I was married, and my wife told me that we were pregnant with our second daughter. And I had my family-sized bag at Twizzlers at the time. I remember I was sitting on the couch, and I weighed about 240, 245 pounds at the time. I was completely out of shape, and I decided to get my health back and start on a fitness journey. And not only that, but stick to it. And I was very, very determined. I didn't really have any education in fitness outside of just, playing high school football and lifting for high school football. But I knew that I had to drop the weight. I knew that I had to dance with both of my daughters at their wedding one day. And so I decided to quit dipping. I quit smoking. I had already been several years sober at that time.
Awesome.
Thank you. And so I began clean eating for about 9 months, and I did not have a cheat meal. I really stuck to it. I was dismissing all kinds of processed food and eating clean protein. He opened his doors after about 2 months of being shuttered, and all the memberships started flooding in. And I imagine that that's really what bankrolled his decision to expand. And when he expanded to King of Prussia, and then when he expanded to Warrington, I could obviously see that all the newer equipment and the resources were absolutely going to these locations. And I'd gone to the Conshohocken gym often enough that I'd met a lot of the people there, the members there. I met the staff, and I just fell in love with the location. I mean, it's 20 minutes away from my house. And so I knew I wanted to start a gym, and I knew I wanted to start a gym in Conshohocken because Conshohocken is growing. There was an apartment complex that had gone up about 7 years before that, and it was already full. There's another apartment complex on the other side of the train tracks that's going up. Villanova's moving its crew team and building a boathouse in Conshohocken, and a lot of younger families are starting to move into the Conshohocken area. And so I figured that this place is growing, and there's a lot of opportunity here. I know that there's obviously interest for a powerlifting gym because Conshohocken was Power Build, and Conshohocken was doing so well. So I reached out to Colin Whitney, who is the owner of Power Build, great guy. And as we got to know each other more and more, I was telling him exactly what my story was, what it was all about, where my passion lies, and what my idea would be if I were to take over that location. It was very important, not just to Colin, but also to me, not to replace the community that is already there, but to keep it growing, keep it going, enhance it as best as I can, and devote my time and attention and resources to that location. And so we got to even more talking. I'd given him an offer. He accepted that offer. And it took about 4 months to transition the business on over to me. And so all the assets inside of the gym are now mine. And I took over the lease, and I rebranded the location called Stable Goat Barbell. And the name comes from, basically, I grew up around horses. We owned some horses, and I rode horses. My sister's really into horses. But show horses and race horses sometimes have very high anxiety, and they're hard to break. and their trainers will introduce a goat into the paddock, and they'll call them calming goats or stable goats. And I'm really into philosophy. It helped me get through my alcoholism and my wife's breast cancer. And that has a philosophical feel to it. And I thought that I could just take that and transfer it into this community and into this gym, and just provide an environment and provide the attitude for the people that go to this gym, to keep it going, to keep it growing. And they love it as much as I love it. And I just want to make sure that I continue expanding the love for that location and the love for powerlifting.
That's awesome. It's like a really good story how you like backed it all up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Colin does put together some pretty cool stuff. And,
Yeah.
Obviously this one was very different because it was his OG and he started small, like any gym owner should do, start small and build. So congratulations to him on that. But let's, we could talk about Colin forever, but let's just talk about you for a minute.
Sure.
So I first wanted to talk about the atmosphere, because that's what I noticed you had changed the most. You would come in and completely repainted the gym, rebranded it. There's super cool murals on the wall. Love the murals.
Appreciate it.
So like, what was your thought process when you came in and like rebranded everything and repainted and like?
Yeah. Well, so, I was never a power lifter before I even took over that location. Like I said, I had combined programs, powerlifting programs and bodybuilding programs. But what I wanted was a retro feel. I'm into the golden era bodybuilding. I love the Arnold Schwarzeneggers of the world, that kind of stuff. And I thought that green and gold or green and yellow would pop. I'm also into retro gaming, so I've got an arcade in there. I want people to feel comfortable. I want them to, between sets, to come out, into the reception area, have a conversation with me, play some video games on the arcade. It's actually kind of awesome to see some of the younger guys that come out there, and they never really had a chance to play Donkey Kong or Pac-Man or any of these really old games, and it's a conversation starter. And I knew coming in there that with green and gold, I'd be able to put it all over the gym. And there are good colors, there are homey colors. And like the murals that you see now on there, you have that giant goat head out on the far wall. I wanted to make a transformation on the back wall where you have a silhouette of a younger child, which then you follow that along the wall. He gets older and older and older until eventually at some point, he passes away. And that kind of brings it home to Stoicism, is the philosophy that I love so much, is that just reminds you that, the only thing that you can control is yourself and your actions. And one day we're all going to be gone. And so you have to spend every second while you're alive doing something that means something. And I think taking care of yourself and, finding the passion within yourself to build up your own confidence, to build up your own body, your own health, and your own mental health. There's nothing more powerful than that, because I think anything out there that's worth reaching for in this world, you got to do it with a healthy mind and a healthy body. And I wanted to transfer that onto the walls and all around my members in the gym.
Oh, that's awesome. No, yeah, I thought that the atmosphere that you created in there and the branding was actually super cool. I really
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm a huge, being a graphic designer, I'm a huge fan of art. So, I love seeing when gym owners like embrace that and like add stuff to the walls that like enhances the gym.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I first moved in there, and Power Build had, they had excellent painting around the walls as well. But I knew that it wasn't an extension of myself, and it wasn't right. It had to be me, and it had to feel like me. And so when I had taken over the location and I was looking for somebody to do the artwork. I mean, I'm an artistic guy myself, but there's no way that I could do anything close to what we see on the walls in there now.
Mhm.
But Colin referenced this guy named Greg, who's an amazing artist, an amazing muralist. And for about 3 months, he and I worked pretty close together to come up with these ideas to stick on the walls. And I'll be forever grateful for him.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really good work.
Thank
Uh,
you.
so if we transition to equipment,
Mhm.
um, the equipment that's there now is stuff that was left from when Colin was there. But
Mhm.
you had mentioned that you're changing out and adding some equipment. So
Yeah.
what is going to be your thought process and how you decide, like, this is equipment I'm going to add, or this is what I want to put in?
Well, first and foremost, I will say the majority of the members, the regulars that really come in there, they're competitors. They're competing in powerlifting competitions, and so the first thing I knew I had to get was another TSS combo rack, and to replace the Ghost rack that I got on the end of the combo rack line. Um, I know that there was a little bit of space that could be opened up after knocking down a closet, an exterior closet. I opened up about 10 feet of gym floor space, sticking a hack squat there and a Stairmaster. These were two pieces of equipment that I had members tell me that they've been desperately wanting for years there. And so I wanted to answer the call right away. We have a full array of Empire iron dumbbells that are put together with an Allen wrench. They're older. I don't believe Empire is even still in business. So I'll be replacing the dumbbells and the dumbbell rack. And then over the long term, I'll take a real long look at some of the accessory equipment that I have out there on the floor and see about replacing that with newer, more efficient powerlifting and bodybuilding accessory machines.
Cool.
Yeah.
When you say newer, more efficient, is there a line that you already have your eye on, or is there something you really like, or just keeping your options open?
Well, I still like to think that I'm so green to this industry that not any one brand just kind of pops into mind.
Mhm.
But I'm open minded to which machines. Um, but I'm going to rely on my members to kind of guide me as to what they want, what kind of movements they're looking for, and move forward with some of that.
That's cool. Yeah, and honestly, having been to as many even having used as many different pieces of equipment that I have and been to as many different gyms as I have, there isn't a line that I would say I would want every piece from that line. Like,
Right.
every line has some amazing pieces, and every line has some pieces I'm like, really?
Yeah. Some duds. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
Um,
outside of the equipment and outside of the machines, I can I've thought about replacing some of the stages beneath the combo racks. I mean, the ground itself, the location is a great location. It's a great space, but the floor is not level in all parts of the gym. And so to make up for that, you've got some platforms on there, and there's platforms beneath each of the combo racks that over the long term, I'd like to replace with something a little bit sturdier, something that is a little sexier to the eye,
mhm.
but at the same time, makes my members feel like this is really legit. And
Yeah,
so it's not just the pieces of equipment, but it's also the little things that might not pop into mind right away, but like could really make a world of difference.
yeah, just enhancing everything overall.
Yes.
No, that's super cool, and it's good that you got your eye on all the little details, let alone just the big things.
Hmm.
So that's very cool. Um, so what is the future of Stable Goat? Like, are you happy with where? I know you've just had the gym for a little while,
Hmm.
but do you have envisions at any point of having a bigger space? Do you want to just stay in this space and make it as amazing as it can be? Do you ever
Hmm.
want to have a second Stable Goat barbell? Like, what's the future look like?
Well, I'm not eliminating any possibilities, but and I have had this question before, especially from members who had early on in my ownership. But the plan is to stay at this location. I do not plan on expanding at all. I want to pour all of my time and my resources into this location. I've got two office spaces in there that I'm really considering, turning into uh, something for the members, whether that be a recovery room or perhaps even having some showers, like a normal gym. But I'm really not thinking that hard about, opening up a second location or expansion. I don't see myself really that big. I love the community that's here in Conshohocken. I love the members here in Stable Goat. And before I can think big, I got to think, real small and make sure that I'm keeping them happy and adding more members as we go down the timeline.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So in the time that you've owned the gym, we talked about some things that you've done really well.
Mm.
Are there some things that you wish you were doing better or you wish you could do better?
Well, I am certified as a personal trainer, and I don't really have that many clients myself. I would, maybe I could have spent a little bit more of my time over the last 2 months reaching out there and trying to get personal training clients. But I'd say I don't feel too bad about that because as a business owner, as the gym owner, I want to make sure that the members are happy, that they know me, that I've built a good rapport, that they trust me, and that they know that this place that they love so much and have loved so much over the last 5 years is going to remain a powerlifting gym with a great community and an owner that really, really cares. But give me another month. I'll probably find something wrong with me or my ownership. But so far, so good. So cross your fingers.
Well, it's important not to spread yourself too thin, also, especially when you're first getting started.
Yes, yeah. So this fall, I'll probably be diving a little bit deeper into marketing, possibly going out to these apartment complexes and smaller privately owned businesses, and leaving a card or some information. See if I can't, get some group discounting, group memberships, things of that nature. Start exploring that marketing avenue. That at this point, when I look at it, it's all blackness. I have zero experience in any of that stuff. So we're gonna see what that bridge is once I cross it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a learning process, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And but it's been a great, fulfilling learning process. This is something that I didn't think I had a passion growing up. I love people, and I knew I wanted to be a dad, and I knew I wanted to be a husband. But outside of that, I didn't think I'd be a software salesman for the rest of my life. But I didn't exactly know where any of my passion was going.
Right.
And that's all relatively new to me over the last 10 or so years. And so to make just such a big decision and a life change this late into my life, might seem like it's scary, and it was, and it still is. I mean, as a business owner, you got to be scared every damn day of messing up or something going wrong. But at the same time, when I'm having conversations with my members and I'm giving them tips and pointers and they're listening to this, or if they're rooting me on while I deadlift 500 pounds like I did last week and squatted 405 pounds 2 days later, I wouldn't ask for anything more in the world
Right.
than what I have right now with this community.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you've fully embraced it and have fully become a gym owner. And
Yeah.
I've said it multiple times. There are gym owners and there are business owners who own gyms.
Mm.
They're two different people. And, as long as and gym owners are the ones that have that passion. And
Mm-hmm.
sounds like you're open-minded to trying to learn everything that you didn't already come equipped with. So
Right.
you're going to be very successful.
Yeah, that's one thing. Selling software for as long as I did, I was not really focused on the revenue. I was focused on the customer experience. I was focused on the implementation of this software and the businesses that I was selling the software to. This ERP software, these were big manufacturing plants with very complex business cycles. And, so they might be making, brown boxes all over the country, but not any one factory, not every one plant is the same. They all have their own special recipe. And so
Mhm.
I didn't want to force my software in there. I wanted to wrap my software around your business tactics and just enhance those and make sure that the implementation went well. Follow up on that implementation. Make sure that the customer, that I knew the customer by name, that they knew me by name, that they had my cell phone number. It was really about the relationships because, when you're lying on your bed at the end of your life, the last thing you want to look back on is just how much money and how many things that you have, but the relationships that you built and the trust that you'd acquired over your lifetime.
Oh, 100%.
And so that's very good that what you said. Like there's gym owners and then there's business guys who own gyms.
Mhm.
And
You can
someone
tell the
who,
difference as soon as you walk in the gym.
well, I appreciate that very, very much. And I hope I give that impression to, the one member who comes once a month or the one member who comes every single day. I want them each to know that my time, my resources and attention are all going into this gym because I care not only about the location, but I care about your experience, care about your health, I care about your long term, and together let's make it a community.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what got me honestly so inspired about doing whatever I could for the locally owned gym community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a similar story to yours. I was at almost 300 pounds and lost 70 pounds in 1 year. So
Congratulations, that's awesome.
and that's when I started doing this sort of thing, just because I wanted to do something to give back. So I felt like that a locally owned gym helped save my life. So
Right. It was back in 2011 where I got sober. I've been sober since May 15th, 2011. So a little over 13 years. Thank you. And when I decided to put all of that behind me and get married to the love of my life and start creating a family, I knew that, hold on, can we stop for a second?
yeah,
I lost my train of thought.
we said and create a family.
Yeah. What was the question? There was,
I think we were even on a question. We were just chatting.
yeah, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Oh, you had
Um,
said you were talking about getting sober.
Right. Yes. So, since being sober on May 15th, 2011, I've gone through this not just this body transformation, but this mind transformation and the spirit transformation. I know how corny all of that really does sound, and I'll probably laugh at myself when I listen back on this podcast. But mental health and physical health is just the absolute world to me. I mean, you said it yourself. Did you say you were 300 pounds or almost 300 pounds?
300.
Yeah. So
87.
when I graduated college in 2007, I was 272 pounds. So I had even lost some weight from graduating college. By the time I met my wife and then got married, I was, while I was married, I was still 240 something pounds. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to last very much longer if I continued down this path of unhealthy habits. And I knew that if I could get sober and if I could put that behind me and I can get that addiction off of my shoulders, then I knew I could really do anything. And that's really what gave me the guts to start exploring the possibility of owning a gym and just hanging up my prior life and taking on a whole new world.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and so like I said, I wouldn't ask for anything else in the world.
Very cool. So in the time that you've been transitioning into becoming a gym owner, and now that you've had the gym for a little bit, is there anything or a piece of advice that you would give to someone that's thinking about opening a gym or wants to own a gym?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Well, I don't know how much advice I'd really be able to give somebody because, Stable Goat Barbell is a powerlifting gym, and powerlifting in general is just such a niche sport. And, it's located in Conshohocken. And if you're not from this area, the first thing you say is, what the hell is Concha? What, so, yeah, I don't know. I probably, you have to love every single thing about it. Like I get up from my desk and I go onto the floor and I try my best to, equally distribute the 45-pound plates all around the gym so that, if you're on the Smith machine, you're not wandering all the way over to the power racks and grabbing, 245s at a time and hiking them on over across the gym, or, mopping the gym every other day. You gotta love to mop. You have to love taking care of the equipment, wiping it down, making sure that people see you doing this so that they know. Build that relationship, build the rapport, build the trust. Don't just, BS around with the members, even though that's crucial as well. But let them see how much you care, and don't ask for a thanks. Don't expect a thank you. You're doing this to fulfill something within you that you never knew that you had. It's yours. You got to love it, and everything that you hate, you got to love it as well. So, it's kind of like going to the gym. It's discipline, right? Mike Tyson said, discipline is doing something that you hate, but doing it like you love it. Yep. And if you're going to the gym every single day, even when you don't feel like it, you've got great discipline, because motivation's overrated. You're not going to find motivation every day. You'll be damned if you find motivation every week. So it's all about building healthy habits. It's all about restructuring how you perceive information, how you perceive others, focusing on yourself, focusing on every little action of yours, and making sure that at the end of the day, you don't have to lie to yourself. You can say, I did everything I had to do today. And damn it, every day I leave that gym, I know I did everything that day to make that gym the best in Conshohocken.
Nice. Yeah, and as you mentioned, like, if the members see that you care about the gym, they'll care about the gym.
Yes. Yeah.
If they don't think the gym owner cares about the gym, they're not going to give a shit about the gym.
No, they won't. No, of course. And look, I was going to Power Build Conshohocken for almost about a year prior to even reaching out to Colin. And I was buying punch passes at a time. I have my own home gym here at my house that I was working out in pretty much every day. But every now and then I'd want to go out and explore. And when I found powerlifting, when I found Power Build, I was just kind of blown away by not the space, because the space is excellent. It's a garage dungeony gym. It's but when I got to know the members, and when I got to know the staff, and the staff was telling me how much they love this location, how much they love this community, and I had some of the staff members, the Power Build members, staff members, reach out to me after the sale. And they said, you got to take good care of that place, because the people that go there are very special. They're a great community. And, I'd like to tell you that I knew that already, but over the last 2.5 months of owning this gym and being in front of them, being face to face with these people every single day, talking to them, not just about their lifestyles, but, talking about their programs with them, even if I have no idea, where their programs are even coming from, because I told you, I'm not a power lifter. I do the compound exercises like everybody else does, and I try to lift as much as I can, but I don't compete as a power lifter. Powerlifting is just, it's an art. It's an art. It's a lifestyle. And even though I don't come from there, even though I'm not in it quite yet, maybe one day, very soon, but I knew that this was something that connected a whole lot of people from all different kinds of walks of life. And it was special, and I had to keep that intact, and not just keep it intact, but give it the tender love and care that it deserves, that the members deserve.
Yeah, I love that. So I didn't have anything else. I just want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We wish you like tons of success. It looks like you're well on your way, and
yeah, come on back after after a year or so. See how the place has changed a little bit.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I had a great experience the first time. I'd love to come back.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more great content.